I think that it's unfair to hammer on Germaine Greer about the trans issue. Now, even as I say that, Germaine Greer is not one of my favorite people. The book that made her famous, The Female Eunuch, had a lot of special pleading in it. It had a lot of hyperbole passing as argument, and it had a lot of exaggeration, and quite simply, it had a lot of nonsense. It was, instead of, and I think that Arianna Huffington, then Arianna Stasinopoulos, did a pretty good job of, showing the wrongs in that book, The Female Eunuch, as well as the sexual politics, and her rejoinder to it, The Female Woman, an argument against women's liberation for female emancipation. And I think Huffington was right in pointing out that, women are not female eunuchs. And, that in a way, they kind of did their sex a disservice in some, at least partially, by not so much making the case for equal treatment of women in the workplace and other ways, but, having all this anti-marriage, anti-makeup, anti-family, all this rhetoric against things that most women, as Arianna Huffington pointed out, hold dear. Okay? That's out of the way. Now, with that out of the way, okay, Germaine Greer has said that she doesn't consider trans women to be women. Now, she was asked if it would make somebody's life happier and more comfortable, why shouldn't they be allowed to be hormonally treated? Why shouldn't they be allowed to have an operation that simulates a female body? And Germaine Greer replied, I never said it should be prohibited. Okay, and that was a good point. She never said it should be prohibited. She said, in my opinion, they are not women. It's just an opinion. It's not a prohibition. Germaine Greer does not have the power to prohibit a single treatment of a trans woman or a trans man. She doesn't have the power to prohibit a single operation. She just has the opinion that that trans women are not women and trans men are not men. She says that she would be polite to a trans woman. She would call her Ms. or ma'am. Okay? But it's just her opinion that they are not women. That's just an opinion. She doesn't have the power to enforce anything. So why should everybody come down like a house of bricks on her about it? And again, I'm going to point out something, about limitations of power. Okay? Germaine Greer is a writer and academic. She's not dictator of the world. She's not governor or mayor or senator or congresswoman person or, she's got influence, but not power, really. And, it's really, she really can't, like I said, it just doesn't make that much sense to come down on her that hard about it, as hard as some people have, on the trans thing, when she can't protect, she can't prevent anybody from transitioning. And people have a right to their own opinions. And I don't think that you have a right to demand that people like what you are doing. Okay? As long as they don't interfere with what you are doing. Okay.